I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and today I'm going to be talking to you about maybe it wasn't you. You know, one of the hardest things about going through a breakup is putting all the blame on yourself. Even though you realize at times that your partner wasn't perfect, and as you reflect on the breakup, you start to realize that they had their issues too, or there were times where you were unhappy with them. We tend to put most of the blame on ourselves. It could get to a place where it's so unhealthy and we become obsessed with our mistakes, and then we just feel guilty and get more depressed. So you really gotta do your best to be objective in whether or not the relationship falling apart was you. Of course, it's healthy to look at things and try and see where you made your mistakes and improve in those areas. That's why I have the workbooks or the creative healing course, and I have a whole playlist called Be a Master in Relationships. And that playlist is focused on giving you the skills and helping you improve those skills so you understand the dynamics of a healthier relationship. So today I've got an email coaching from a couple that was the woman was in her 50s and the guy was a little bit older, in his early 60s. And so as you take a look at this situation unfolding, it might help you see why maybe the person that ended the relationship with you, or the reason that it didn't work out, even if you ended it, it could have been because of what was going on with that other person, okay? So this could be really helpful to you in looking at your own situation. So they said, in January of 2020, I met Fred online. We had a couple of great dates prior to the COVID lockdown. So obviously, they got to meet, hang out, have a couple of great dates right before everything got very stressful, and there was so much uncertainty at the time, and things were in a very difficult place for a lot of people. Obviously, I remember on a daily basis hearing ambulance drive by my neighborhood, which you never hear, but it was happening 5-6 times a day in the morning. It was just such a scary time because we had no idea what was going on. But obviously, that's going to impact everything when you're dating somebody new, right? And so I know a lot of people were meeting people right before COVID, and COVID has caused a lot of breakups. As the years progressed, we've seen that. So she said, Fred is in his early 60s. He was separated from his wife a year before meeting. Now, he was married for 35 years. Okay? He's had a little bit of time since that marriage ended, but you can imagine he essentially spent a lifetime with this woman. And so, coming out of that would be huge, and he would have to process a lot and deal with a lot. And maybe he's dealing with guilt, or, maybe he's not the one that ended the relationship. There are a lot of things that's going to come after leaving a marriage that was 35 years. And then she goes on to say he just began dating. So, somebody coming out of a long-term relationship, now they're just dating. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they're looking for. They've been with one person for essentially almost all of their adult life. So that's going to be a big aspect of this relationship, and whether or not he can do a new one, especially so soon. She said, due to COVID, from March until May, we connected daily through text and calls. So obviously that's going to impact the attraction a little bit because it's much better to attract somebody in person. I don't think it's effective to try and build attraction through the phone or texting. Now, in this situation, they didn't have much choice. Despite pandemic limitations, we had fun. We got along well, never had an argument. We do have some incompatibilities. Fred is a man of few words, so that's already leaning towards telling us that he's avoidant, right? Never spoke much about life challenges, but I knew he had many life challenges. Okay, so you got to think about this. Guy's coming out of a long-term marriage, has only been single for a year and just started dating. And what are these other challenges? COVID, job loss. That's going to have a big impact on a guy. You know, a lot of times we feel very connected to our job and we place this job as this worth in our world. And that's not true, but we tend to do it to ourselves. COVID, job loss. So now he's stressed out, he's lost a job, he's not in this marriage anymore where he had stability there. New job, divorcing, family, and an ill mother. So he's got a lot of major issues going on here, right? So all of those things are going to make me really reluctant to move forward with this other than something casual because I'm going to make sure this guy's really ready. After the sale of his home in August, he moved into my house. Things felt awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, he's dating somebody new, and that's exciting and fun, and we are fantasizing a lot in that situation where we're meeting somebody new and it's just exciting and we have all those chemicals released. So, you know, that could be why things felt so great. But he's moving in with somebody new when he's just out of a long-term marriage? Now, I've been doing this long enough to know that's not going to go so well in most cases. In mid-February, I felt disconnected. He became busy most weekends. Family, friends, and work. Okay, so imagine that. Your boyfriend's just moved in, you're excited about it, and now he's busy on most weekends. Not going to feel so good. He bought another vacation home as he lost negotiations on one that he owned with his ex. Okay, so that's a big commitment. He's going to buy a new home. He did not include me in the purchase process. Okay, so that's big. Okay? You're in this new relationship and you're not even including your new girlfriend who you're living with in the decision-making process. Not only that, he's spending time with all these other people. He's not making her the priority that he did in the beginning. I felt anxious, wondering how often he would be at the lake given the lack of quality time recently. And I think most people would feel the same way. Okay, I think, you know, putting yourself in that position, who wouldn't feel like that? I discussed the importance of quality time, feeling unincluded and feeling disconnected. I discussed my needs. Sounds like you did a good job there. You got to talk about things. You know, this is a new relationship. You're trying to get on the same page on where this is going and what's going on. He soothed me by saying his busyness pertained to timing, nothing else. I don't believe him. I just don't believe him. Okay? Maybe he believed that, but to me, there's more. Things didn't change. I started to make my own plans and be less available. Well, who could blame you? Nobody wants to sit at home doing nothing. We've done that enough over the COVID year, haven't we? He invited me to his sister's house for Easter. Childishly, I told him I had plans. Okay, Did you really have plans, or you were just hurt because he had been neglecting you? Last minute, I said I wanted to go. He said, no, I need space because he feels disconnected. You feel disconnected? I don't think so. No. Come on. You're feeling disconnected when your partner's been telling you that she's feeling disconnected for months? It seems like he was just using the very excuse he had against her that she had said with him, right? I don't buy that, because he wasn't really making an effort to repair it. And the one time he does, now he's going to throw it in her face? This feels like reality distortion to me. Yesterday, he said he needed space, and he was going to stay at a hotel. That's suspicious, isn't it? He needed to see what life felt like without me and think about things. Now, see, he's done a real good job of making her feel like this is her fault. But I'm not buying it, because he hasn't been invested. He's been making major decisions without her. He hasn't been including her. He's been making other people a priority. And then when she tried to repair it, he did nothing. And now he makes one little effort, and now he says, I feel disconnected, and now I need to see what life is like without you. I think you've already been thinking about that, and you probably should have been thinking about that a lot more before you moved in with somebody after getting out of a 35-year-old marriage. I told him that I honored his decision, and if he sorts things out, I'm available. That she wouldn't be dating. I don't think you should have told him that. I would like to work it out. I said I will miss you, and that I was grateful for all the time that we had. We said we loved each other. He said that this has nothing to do with anything I did. So he told her, and I believe him. He adores me, and I'm special. I had tears in my eyes. He packed some immediate things. Is this a breakup or a break? I'm not sure when he will pick up the rest of his things. I'm feeling awful, Craig. Okay, well, I do think this is going to lead to a breakup. But as he told you, and I even sensed from the beginning, this wasn't your fault. I mean, did you make some mistakes here? Maybe minor things. I mean, maybe you were acting a little bit childish about Easter. And, maybe that did mildly annoy him or irritate him. But that's certainly not a deal breaker or any real reason somebody should give on a relationship. I think what he should have done is taken a closer look at himself and said, I wasn't ready for this, and here's where I'm at. And maybe explained a little bit more about what he needed or could do or couldn't do. And then you could have seen if you guys could have been a good fit or worked something out. But, I had a lot of things that I covered up front on why he wasn't ready for a relationship. And I don't think he was just able to tell you that. I mean, I do think he's avoidant. I do think he really cared about you. And I do think that he means the words that he's told you about that had nothing to do with anything that you did, and that he adores you. And he just wasn't ready at this time for anything like that. It's hard. And it sucks, quite honestly, because you got attached to him, you thought things were going great, and now all of a sudden he's left you feeling like this was your fault. But I don't think it was. And I think most people in the comment section will agree with me, and they'll tell you, that they don't think this was your fault. Leave him alone. Let him figure things out for himself. He may need to date and see other people, and I know that hurts, but, a guy coming out of a marriage that was over 3 decades needs to see what else is out there before he gets into another committed relationship. Otherwise, there's a good chance he's just going to leave the relationship again and leave you feeling devastated again. So you really want him to be sure or a lot more sure that he can give you what you need, that he can make a commitment, that he's willing to sacrifice the things that he needs to do to repair this relationship again. Maybe he will in the future. I don't think he's going to anytime soon, and I know that hurts to hear. You know, you can't change his situation. Only he can figure those things out for himself, and that's unfortunately not fair to you, but at the same time, you also have to see things for what they are and for where he's at or not at. So, continue to take a look at how you are in relationships, improve yourself, get into therapy, do the workbooks, stay committed to the personal growth. Either he's going to come back and you'll be much more ready for him and dealing with an avoidant partner, because I suspect he will be, or you'll continue to learn the skills and you'll do great with whoever you date next. And maybe in the future, you'll be single, he'll be single, you could try it again. And now you know the things that you have to look for and the things you want to do different with him. Of course, if you want my help with your situation, you can get it on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Of course, Margaret is available for Skype coaching. And hopefully you found this video helpful. That's it for this video, though. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.